What happens when a bishop expands permission for the traditional Latin Mass while a religious community faces serious controversy? That is exactly what is happening in Scotland. In a development that has drawn attention across Catholic circles, Bishop Hugh Gilbert of Aberdeen has granted two priests permission to celebrate the traditional Latin Mass every Sunday at the Church of Our Lady of the Garioch and St. John the Evangelist in Fetternear. The two priests are Father Yousef Marie and Father Peter Mary of the Congregation of the Sons of the Most Holy Redeemer, also known as the Transalpine Redemptorists. This permission represents an expansion of an earlier arrangement. Previously, the Latin Mass had been celebrated at the parish only once a month. Now it will be offered every Sunday. But there is an important detail. The two priests receiving permission have publicly distanced themselves from the leadership of their religious community. Their separation came after the congregation issued a declaration in May. In that statement, the leadership rejected Popes Paul VI through Leo XIV and described them as papal pretenders. The declaration also condemned the reforms of the Second Vatican Council, claiming they had caused a major rupture within the Church. Bishop Gilbert's decision comes at a sensitive moment. Only days from now, on July 25th, Father Michael Mary Sim, founder and superior general of the Transalpine Redemptorists, is scheduled to be consecrated a bishop. The Bishop of Aberdeen has already spoken strongly about that planned consecration. He described it as a grave act of disobedience and warned Catholics not to attend. In an official diocesan statement, Bishop Gilbert said that any such episcopal consecration would be unlawful and would separate participants from communion with the Catholic Church. He added that the action is not being carried out for the good of the Catholic Church as supporters claim, and expressed hope that those involved might reconsider. The story becomes even more complex when looking at the history of the community. The Sons of the Most Holy Redeemer are a small congregation of just over 24 priests and brothers. They live on the remote island of Papa Stronzy, north of Scotland. The community was founded in 1987 by Father Michael Mary under the guidance of Archbishop Marcel Lefebvre and the Society of St. Pius X, with encouragement from Cardinal Edouard Gagnon. After years of separation, the group was reconciled with Rome in 2012. Today, it also operates missions in the United States and New Zealand. However, tensions have grown in recent years. Last year, the congregation published an open letter arguing that church leaders had broken the proper chain of authority. Then, in May, the group intensified its position by rejecting recent popes and calling for what it described as an imperfect general council to address the crisis it sees within the Church. Because of these developments, Bishop Gilbert had already removed members of the community from celebrating the monthly Latin Mass in Fetternear. That responsibility was transferred to Father Bruno Murphy, a diocesan priest. Now, however, the bishop has specifically authorized Fathers Yousef Marie and Peter Mary to continue serving the faithful there. The community has also faced other difficulties. Several monks and priests have reportedly left the island unexpectedly in recent years. Earlier this year, a 24-year-old monk, Brother Ignatius Maria, whose birth name was Justin Evans, disappeared during the night on April 11th. After an extensive search, his body was found in the waters near Stronzy on May 6th. Scottish police stated that the disappearance was not being treated as suspicious. Former members have also raised concerns about psychological pressure within the community. Others, however, have defended the monastery, saying that strict corrections were intended to help members grow spiritually and live according to their religious rule. As these events continue to unfold, the situation in Scotland highlights several issues at once: the future of the traditional Latin Mass, questions of church authority, and the challenges facing religious communities during times of tension and change.